What's up, guys? Vince right here. Don't worry, your screen's okay. The video's okay. If you see a black screen, you're good. You're good. But other than that, yeah. Welcome to my first annual kind of, I guess, thing that I do. It's something that I like to do. And every almost end of the year, and I'm supposed to be doing this like really in New Year's, but right now, as no one's in the house, I decided like, okay, let me just make a couple videos for the end of the year right now. Let me just get to work on those videos. And right now, I'm still getting work to my top tens, but for this one, I'm just gonna talk about this year in review, or in this year talk about stuff that happened, and I just share you guys, and that's the video. So that's what I'm about to do. This is basically my month by month, or month to month, or you know what, I'll figure out the name later. But yeah, let's talk about 2022. I'm not sure if I did this last year, but one thing I know for this kind of concept, I really enjoy doing. And it's not a trendy concept. I don't see a lot of people really doing this at all. But for me, instance, I really want to actually do this kind of video and actually just share you guys of like, a month by month basis. I have the notes right here, and pretty much I'm just gonna tell you like, oh, what did I did on November, what I did on October. There's some good stuff, some sad stuff, and you know what? I'm pretty much the majority. I'm gonna keep it positive, but yeah, there's some stuff where I was like, yo, this happened, almost died, and yep, on my channel, and everything was going crap, and yeah. So that's what I'm about to do, of just sharing you like month by month by starting off with January. And if you see the airplane there, then bada boom, you're right. There we go. I actually came back from LA, and then I went back home because last year, which is, man, it's kind of crazy to think about how it's almost 2023, and here I am talking about like the end of 2021, of me going to vacation to see my cousins in LA, and yeah, taking a plane back home to the Bay. And pretty much as of right now, I wish I had those days, because let me tell you, having a vacation, not being around, like, in the same old hometown that you're in, and just stepping out for a vacation for the holidays, is it was a very luxurious time. Okay, felt luxurious, felt good, and this was a moment where I was really trying to get used to my new place, due to the fact that in 2021 I lost my home. But yeah, I guess this is the year where I, well, just got used to it, because I have to live with it. And yeah, I'll get more into that later on. But getting used to the new place, and let me tell you, I was up high, and there was a moment where I was like, oh God, I think it's over for me. Like, I don't know, I was just looking up. I was like, wow, just life seems like the beginning of something big. It just felt like it. I don't know what it is. But yeah, and also it was a moment where I did the first ever podcast with my cousins. That was fun. Definitely go check that video out. It's probably digging somewhere. I don't know if I'm gonna link it, but it was me, my cousins. It was like the first kind of like four, men podcast. It was me, my boy Stefan, and my cousins. Even though we were not in the same room, but I made it work with the power of editing. And also, I think somewhere in the middle of that particular month is when I got a copyright strike, and I was scared, and pretty much I shut down my channel. It was like an emergency, like, oh man, okay, every video is now privated. Which, let me tell you, there were some people that was watching the Boyfriends app, and they got so mad. I was getting like messages, like, I didn't realize there was a good amount of people watching the Boyfriends apps when I was, my channel was in freaking danger, and they got mad at me. Like, you like, God, okay, you get the videos back. Let me just save my channel and just speak to Webtoon real quick. Jeez, which I did. And also, these people are just, hands off free, because I didn't really care to respond any of them. But I just find that a funny moment. Like, yeah, you're watching Boyfriends, but I'm over here trying to protect my damn channel. So there's a sooner or later that you will have more boyfriends. Do you understand which one is important? I swear, that moment just got to me. I was just like, ugh. But it's over. It's all good. I'm all goody. And I guess, it's all in the past. But still, that was a funny moment. And pretty much one of my series that actually got back. Pretty much, of course, earlier this month, it was worse. But I'll get into that later. But yeah, there was a copyright strike, and it got resolved thanks to Webtoon. And yeah, also I celebrated my birthday. because my birthday is on January. I celebrate my birthday. I didn't mention it at all. I didn't really say nothing about it because I never like really sharing my age or sharing, just those moments of like, even though birthday is a cool time, and I'm never the person like, oh, it's my birthday, wish me happy birthday. F that. I'm not really that guy, okay? You think I'm gonna freaking like have a moment of like, "I wish my happy birthday," especially in the discussion post where barely anyone speaks unless it's something like boyfriends related. Yeah, right. I mean, I'll make something up for my birthday. I'll do something, maybe a live stream. I don't freaking know. No one has asked, but I feel like, you know what? I think of doing something. Just doing something for my birthday and just having a good time, you know what I mean? But yeah, that was January, a refreshing and respectfully cold moment. And it was a good moment. I really enjoyed January, okay? But also I don't know what I did on my birthday, but let's just say I had a good time with my boy Stefan because I'm always hanging out with him on every birthday, it feels like. Let's move on to February. Now, February was the moment of the Winter Olympics. If you know what Olympics is, I don't blame you, okay? A lot of times I keep thinking like Olympics, is they're gone? Are they not? The whole skateboard trend is losing, but it's crazy how Olympics is coming sooner, even though it should be like 4 years ago. But man, it felt like it's really sooner because after this year, 2023, the Olympics coming, and there's a lot of big things happening in 2024. Stuff that is like, as I realize it, it's like a lot of like, me, like, the changes of my channel, the futures, my college, my my career, and traveling, and I don't know, and also space, like stuff that I'm looking forward to in 2024. Man, that's gonna be a hell of a year. Oh my goodness, I can just already picture it. But yeah, February being like the Winter Olympics, which I didn't watch. I think I watched more of the X Games, the Winter X Games in Aspen. But yeah, also Webtoon gave me a gift. They gave me a hat and a keychain, which was nice. I really appreciate them. I didn't realize they were gonna give me anything, but hey, thank you, Webtoon. And yeah, of course, it's on my story time, and I didn't really flex on it much. I was like, oh, thanks, Webtoon, stuff like that. And also, I went to Monterey. As you're seeing the pictures, the Monterey skate park, and I had a good time there. Okay, I feel like I lacked in certain areas in that skate park. I don't know why. And it was cold. I don't know why I was swinging that hard. I guess that's California in a nutshell. The moment you think it's cold, it's 50 degrees, but you're not freezing at all. Instead, you're sweating in cold weather. That's weird, but it is what it is. But yeah, I went to the skate park in Monterey, which is always a place I tend to visit most of the times. There's like other places, but I guess that's what it is. It's always that area in Monterey where the Love Park, and you have the little town nearby that I went around, and that was cool. It was nighttime, and I had a good time with my family. But also, something interesting happened. It was as I was in Monterey, and I'm trying to think where I put this. Um, it was also where that hotel madness happened. For those that didn't know, in February, I don't know when. I think it was almost the end of February or during Valentine's. Oh wait, no. It was during Valentine's Day, and there was this lady screaming. Out of all days, it had to be the day that I was about to take a nap and wake up to leave Monterey, and she was just yelling. She was going crazy, and I already shared this, but since some of you are, a good amount of you probably forgot and don't care, I'm gonna just share it again. But yeah, there was just this crazy lady. I mean, not really crazy. Maybe she was heartbroken because I don't freaking know. She was off her meds or something, and something happened. I was worried. They called the police. They did this and that. They did a bunch of stuff to actually help this lady in a ways. But she was just still screaming. Even though, here's the annoying part: they knocked the door. The screaming lady won't answer, and they had to leave her alone again. And I'm just like, oh, for crying out loud, can you just kick her out? Because we're trying to sleep. We paid money for this hotel, and then you just let her just like be like, just all this BS. And I had to deal with it because I had to freaking sleep. It was like 4 a.m. And I had to, like, I'm sorry, I had to go full time because I'm just like so pissed. I was just like, I'm trying to sleep here. And you got this screaming lady just like bang her head. Like, I think from what I heard, like there was two police officers and they were upstairs, and one of them was talking to the one another, each other, or maybe the office lady, and she was like, oh, for the police lady, I mean, oh, she's like bleeding. Like, what is happening? What happened to this lady? She got really heartbroken, and listen, I've been heartbroken. It really changed me. Like, it really, really, like, I was not Vincent anymore. I was a whole new Vincent. Okay, it really like made me different, and I understand that. I understand that how is that heartbreaking, but not something worth yelling. I think if that was me, I would not yell. I would listen to music and just, be in my own world and stuff. But apparently, that's not what this lady did. Just freaking scream, and just, knocks after knocks. And then after a long while, like somewhere around like, 6 a.m. or something, it feels like she just stopped and got tired. And I'm just like, for crying out loud. And there was like a lot of screaming. It was just so freaking annoying. Oh my gosh. And you know what sucks is that I don't have that big of an audience to actually share this kind of BS. I mean, I know this audience is big enough, but like still, it's like something that's like, wow, this is out of all days, getting out of the hotel like at the night before, like, it's just, I'm just like so mad at that moment. I'm like, I don't even care what happened. First off, I want to know, like, and the lady just, like, from what I'm hearing, what it seems like, the lady just doesn't want to deal with anything. Well, how about we don't deal with it? How about we don't deal with your heartbreaks when you're yelling and just smacking your head in the that's not going to do anything for you. That's not, like, I can only imagine what it sounds like. I don't know if this lady was like in her 20s or my age or in 30s or whatever. I don't know. I really don't freaking know, but I will never forget that moment in Monterey. Oh my God. It was one of those scary moments where I was like, I was scared because I was like, is she okay? But also I was like, man, this is so freaking annoying. I don't even know what's happening. And my dad was calling, like, the office lady like several times. And I was like, oh man, Dad, can we just get out of here? Oh my God. He'll tell you everything. Like, pretty much it's just like, so it went south, man. It went south with that. Unfortunately, I have to hear it. But also, thankfully, I got earphones. Earphones exist, so I can now listen to music. And pretty much I develop a certain, I guess, ways, because it's kind of impossible to sleep with music on. But for me, I actually had a little soundtrack here. I had like, some sounds, I guess, because, the hotel had Wi-Fi, and I just, just play that on repeat and just like sleep. And just sleep, because there's nothing I can do when this lady keeps screaming and the police keeps coming. And listen, and it got to the point where the police was like, okay, we're done. You know what I mean? That could have been the highlight picture. I don't know why I pictured a freaking skate park when this was like the biggest moment. I mean, one of the biggest moments was basically Ukraine. That's when the whole war thing started. Like, that was unfortunate. And also it was and I put a little bit of gaming here and there. In January, I started playing Witcher 3. And I think when I was in Montreal, I was thinking a lot about Witcher 3, because I bought it. And I was like, oh man, I want to play some Witcher 3. Oh man, that game is good, And I was really anticipating of it. And also the Sinking City. That's when I bought Sinking City when I got back home. Like, I just decided to actually get more games. March was a nice time. I remember, like, this was when I finished Sinking City, unfortunately. Sinking City is like a very, like, it's a horror, like, investigation game. And I love that game. I love that game so much. Man, and it sucked that it had to end so early and abruptly. Like, it felt like the ending was abrupt, and I don't know. There was some dark nature to that game where it just fits the vibe of the winter, Oh, man, I love Sinking City. If you haven't checked it, if you're into Lovecraft, that is the game, okay? Like Lovecraft, like Frankenstein and Cthulhu. Man, Sinking City is like one of the best aesthetical games that I ever played. I don't know. It's a true... I finished it and I was like, oh, man. But also I started playing Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's when I started that game. I don't know what happened to that. I guess I wasn't not into it much. But yeah, this is when moment I went apartment shopping, and after that, somewhere in the end... Like, oh, somewhere in the end, before I left, this is when the whole Will Smith incident happened. And everything just went downhill for him. I don't know when I know he came back, he apologized, and Chris Rock realized it, and all that problem just went away and stuff. Even though people are still joking about it, understandably, because nowadays Chris Rock, when you see Chris Rock and you see Will Smith, all you can think about is the Oscar moment, and that's unfortunate because they're more than that. But at the same time, hey, hey, Will Smith, you did it. Okay, you started it. Okay, no one else did. Sorry. Okay, your little Alaska, what is that? Like going to Antarctica or something? You can't do nothing because people are not gonna remember you going to Antarctica or anything else. Okay, they're gonna remember you of like, oh, I smacked Chris Rock, that kind of thing. And that thing everyone's talking about it, and that thing went all over the internet. God, what a moment. Okay, that and also the Ukraine news as well. But also, March is when I found my favorite college. It was the moment I found my college. It was the moment I was like, yeah. I went to Reno University in Nevada. And I look at this place and I was like, I kind of like it. I really like this place. There's less mask. I appreciate that because I hate masks, okay? There's moments I do wear masks and moments I don't. But if you tell me like as if I'm like a little kid, hey, you need to wear masks. You, okay? Sorry, that got personal. But pretty much don't tell me what to do. Okay, I wear my mask if I want to. Okay, all right. And there were some people that did, but also it felt like real. It felt, I felt away, especially being out of California. It just felt good. It felt good to not be in California. Because I was just getting tired of it. I was in Reno, not in California, and Nevada felt something. Okay, and also things were cheaper. Just the weather was a little bit, was actually nice and cooler a bit, even though it was like in desert area. And also it was different, it was different. It was a flatter land, but it was different, at least. And I really like the city of Reno. I really like how it looks, the bridge, and how it's just a small, humble town that's not really that crazy compared to like San Francisco and LA. I really respect that. I really enjoyed it. And also just the fact that I'm in another state and I'm in another place that is cheaper. I literally was thinking like moving around. I was thinking of moving to Reno. But of course that will be far from my family. But man, I just was like, yo, I kind of like this. You can tell my hunger for traveling is really getting there because I really want to go anywhere, okay? Just anywhere. Okay, freaking Vermont, New Hampshire, France, the Bahamas, Haiti. I don't care. Like, just get me out of here. I just want to get out of town for Christ's sakes. I just really I know it's been like a couple days, but man, I wouldn't want to get out of here. I really want to travel. I want to do something. And that's what I'm hoping to do next year. Is 2023 is the day that I travel at least. You know what I mean? Anyways. Yeah, I found my favorite college. I really liked it, okay? The buildings were crazy. It was like a Toontown almost. I mean, the buildings were just like, I don't know. It was a big, and I understand. Colleges are usually like this in America. They're freaking fat. The buildings are fat, okay? I saw the gym. The gym looked like a hospital. Oh my goodness. There was like several hospitals, it looks like. But yo, I really enjoyed, I don't know. I just miss being just around people that are my age. Not to be personal, but God, there was a moment where I was so happy to be around them. Just my peers. Next, let's move on to April, where this is a picture where I went to Folsom. I think that's how you say it, Folsom, at the strip mall. And it looks like a apartment. Maybe there are apartments. I don't know. They seem like apartments in a way. Do you see that? That's a little candy store that I went there. Lions, I forget what it's called. But yeah, it's a little candy store or something else. I'm not sure. There was like a candy store next to it. You know what I mean. But this was when I was to take a picture from the movie theater that they had on top. It was very nice. It almost felt like Europe in a ways, I don't know. There's some Italian like buildings style surrounding it. Folsom is interesting, okay? It's California, okay? It's not cheap. There's a lot of Teslas surrounding. That's what I remember. But it's actually a very nice place. But yeah, April, that's when I left Lake Tahoe in Reno. And by the way, in March, I went to Lake Tahoe in Reno. And I had a good time in Lake Tahoe, but my goodness, was it cold. It was like 30, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is serious. Even though people were wearing shorts, this is cold. And I was really, going back to March, I was really this close snowboarding. but there was barely any snow. And it was sad because I was really hoping to snowboard, and there was not enough time. And also, not only that, at March and April is when I had this weird thing on my back. Okay, I had this like weird thing on my back. It got so bad that I went to the hospital in April. So yeah, like after like pretty much leaving Lake Tahoe and Reno, immediately like we all went back home. We went to a couple malls like in Folsom, of course, as you see here, and then went to the hospital, to get that thing in my back checked. It was gross. It was gross. It was a moment where I was like, what is happening to me? What? Because I really it was the first time I truly felt like I couldn't catch a break. You know, I was like, man, I dealt with, being evicted. I dealt with like, what else that dealt with? Like, annoying hotels and stuff like that, screaming. There was a bunch of complaints I had, copyright strikes. And I was just looking at my life like, can I just take a break? I just want to go home and take a break. You know what I mean? And this thing on my back just won't give me a break. Every time I lay down, it felt like a bullet is sticking on my back. It was so disgusting. But I got the doctor. They did something that I will not say, okay, because I believe that some people are eating when they're watching this. And I'm also going to eat after this, so I'm not going to gross me out. But man, it was just gross. Also, it was the year, I mean, not the year, the month that I played Outer Worlds. And that game was beautiful. It really got me into like the Fallout universe and stuff like that. So, I had to add some gaming into it. But yeah, pretty much, I don't know why I said here, Lake Tahoe lost money or something. I think I was low on budget. I don't know. But May. Let's talk about May. My favorite month that I had. And May was the month. Also, I barely talk about college at all. I think I was like done with, my spring semester. And who else? Also, May. One thing about May is because pretty much May was also a month where I weirdly had a poker phase. Like, I kid you not. I had a phase, and it's funny. I have my chips here. You hear that? Yeah, I have my chips here. And they're just staying there. Pretty much they're now collecting dust at this point. But I had a weird chip phase. I mean, not chip phase. That sounds like a drug. A weird poker phase. Because I literally had a phase where I was like, yo, I could be good at this. Yo, I'm dope. Maybe I should go back to Reno and Lake Tahoe and really take this seriously. Because I think I went to Lake Tahoe. I went to this like mall and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. And I really was, putting my numbers. I was like gambling and stuff like that. And of course I lost money. I think that's why I put like, in April, I lost money. There's a lot of backtracking because I'm starting to remember stuff. This is Vincent in a nutshell. And May was the moment where like, I was like really thought I was going to be good at poker. I was really thought I was going to be good at either poker or blackjack. But then that hobby just, fade away. I don't know what happened to it. I think after Fanime, it made me realize, like, okay, I don't even know why I like poker. Like, this community is better. Like, just doing this anime stuff, like, more fun, okay? Maybe that poker phase, like, just was no more because I wasn't lucky. And I was getting really bored of it. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Will I come back to it? Maybe, maybe not. But let me tell you, there was a phase that I was like, yo, I want to play some poker. I really feel lucky. I want to play some Hold'em. Come on. My goodness. Like, I was really practicing. But also, yeah, final semester, I did a freaking speech presentation that no one showed up. So, that was depressing. That was like my final for my semester, my speech class. And also, yeah, I went to Fanime. This is my boy Stefan. We went to Fanime 2022, anime convention here in the Bay Area. And it was so much fun. It was so dope to actually go to a convention. It's been so long because I haven't been to a convention in 2 years, during this. So when going back to a convention, just like everyone else. And by the way, I had a rough time really going into Fanime because of the restriction, the regulations. And the whole time I was just like, yo, this sucks. Like, it was only taking me, I really enjoyed it. But man, the regulations showing your vaccine cards. Look, I'm cool wearing a mask and just like showing you, like I showed them I'm negative, but I have to show them my freaking And by the way, that whole vaccine like process, you can ask Stefan. It took hours. It was a pain in the ass. Okay, I really hope when I go to conventions anywhere in California, they better stop with this freaking vaccination BS, okay? They gotta stop with it. Oh, Vince, you're being conservative. I don't freaking care. I'm tired of it. I just want to go to conventions. Okay, there's certain conventions out there that you don't need to. Let me just move back my phone because I'm about to go into a tirade. There's certain conventions that you don't need your vaccination at all. Shoot, you don't need your mask. You don't need none of that. I get it's California, but certain places in California, at least the majority, you don't need to wear masks. Go to Target. Go to Target in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, in LA. Go there. Tell me how many people wearing masks. Because I guarantee you, I only saw two people. Two people wearing masks when I went to freaking Macy's. And this was like yesterday. Oh my God. Oh my God. But yo, I had a good time. I don't care about it. Through all that hell, I had a good time in Fanime. It was amazing. Taking pictures with cosplayers, taking pictures with the cosplays itself, the event, the everything. It filled me with inspiration. It filled me with a lot of good times. The whole thing about being around my peers is inspiration, getting inspiration from the people you see, just the people you see, the peers. Understand that. For those that are in high school and college, you lucky. You lucky to be in a public area. When I have to study online and be online and the majority of time be an introvert, but I'm just sick of it because I want to be out there. It's just that I'm not rich. Unless I go to a mall for whatever random reason. And usually it's no reason because then again, I'm poor. But man, I had a good time. I had a good time in Fanime because it was the people. It was the people. A convention without people, it's like freaking ice cream with literally no ice cream. You just have a cone and yeah, you're supposed to eat that. Like I spent $10 on ice cream. Oh, too bad. You got a freaking cone. There you go. Okay, bye. That kind of thing. But actually having it's like, ice cream with, ice cream cone without ice cream, a freaking car without gas or without electricity, depending if you're driving a Tesla or a car. But man, it was everything because of the people. Almost everybody looked gorgeous. That's the thing about conventions, that everyone is just like so gorgeous and tall. And maybe because I'm short, because I'm just like up looking up. Me and Stefan, we almost are like the same height, and the whole time we're just looking up because we just found ourselves like, oh crap, we're short. We just had a moment that we are very short. And I want to thank Stefan for actually helping me and paying for certain things in the convention. We offered to help each other, knowing that we can, I pay for his meals, he paid for this, and we had a good co-op for that. And I hope we carry that throughout our travels more. Let me tell you, there is more conventions, and I hope to go to more of them. I hope, Webtoon takes me to all of them. I hope, no, not all of them, but, it takes me to one or, something like this. Listen, any conventions, any moments, I make the best out of it. Okay, I make the best out of it. I take pictures. I do this and that. I speak to the people. Man, it was a community. But man, nothing better beats that than the other thing that I'm going to talk about later on this video, which was the dance. Oh man, that was cool. But we're going to get to that later. Other than that, this freaking Fanime, in my opinion, even though it was the only convention that I went to, was a W. Are you kidding me? Oh, I had so much fun in Fanime. There was another convention with it. But me and Stefan, we were just like, we spent enough time. Okay, even though the tickets were expensive, even though the vaccination process was freaking aggravating, even though, we had some troubles here and there, but out of all of it, it was worth it. It was worth it. Oh my gosh, I enjoyed it. Okay, let me tell you right now. There were some flaws, but listen, a convention is better than no convention. Anyways, moving on to June. And June was okay. It was a normal month. It was pretty much the first time that my video got sponsored. Yeah, that's right. I officially had my first ever sponsored video by Webtoon, which is not a surprise at this point because technically I work for them. But I still got sponsored. I always dream of getting sponsors one day. This is my first one, Webtoon. And it was crazy because whoever thought that I would listen. I hopes to work with them more. Okay, I hopes to work with them more, and I gotta say, not only I was happy with this sponsor, but I truly was so happy that I made money off of what I do. I showed that to Stefan, and let me tell you, I was, the moment I think about it, the moment is the moment when I got emotional. Because I truly did something that, I was looking at it, I was like, at first when they did, I was really having second thoughts. I was like, yo, I don't know if I can do this. Because there's a certain process that you certain information, but I was really trusting Webtoon with it. And thank goodness I did, because out of all of it, out of all the flaws and stuff like that, out of all the second thoughts, I said, "Yo, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna really do it, and I'm actually gonna trust these guys." And yo, first ever sponsored video just came up was the boyfriend's reaction. Guaranteed that I could have been a little bit more honest because I was biased because this was my first ever sponsored video, my first ever like paid, gig, that I ever done. And just like that, I made money. I made, man, I showed this to Stefan and I was emotional and he was like happy. I was happy. It was a moment, okay? Don't judge me. I'm having a moment because I've been really working my ass off to get here and I tried every damn moment. I have the rights to blush about it because it's moments that hungers me, that makes me want to make these videos for you guys. I don't care how many views I get. I don't care what response or how much hate or whatever. It's the dream. It's the end goal. That's what I try to make. And that's what I try to get. Anyways. And also I got like what I did. Also, as you see here, I went to San Francisco. First time I ever rode in an e-scooter. That was interesting. Oh my God, the many times I almost slipped. Even though I was just there to skate, but I just, my parents were like, "Oh, we gotta get you e-scooter." I'm like, fine, I'll check it out, because they work there, and yeah, that was fun. Revisit Emeryville, and I gotta say, when I revisit Emeryville, it's close to Oakland, by the way. And pretty much it's a, my goodness, that was I never thought I would come back, but it was one of the most futuristic kind of feelings I had because I went to this little area, this market, felt futuristic. It really does. I don't feel like I'm in Emeryville. Like, is this really Emeryville? But man, the amount of nostalgia that I went back to that little town, oh, that was fun. Also, Father's Day was there. My parents had this weird monetization discussion, which I knew was going to happen when I told them about my channel. And I think I told them about my channel. Yeah, it was June. June is when I shared them about my channel. And they got my full support. I tell you right now, June was the biggest moment for this channel. It was the biggest moment for me of what I want to do. And maybe it has to do with me telling them, me sharing that and stuff like that, but it was a good moment. Also, it was when this is the month when I went to my new gym. Oh, that was beautiful. I don't really go to gym much because how freaking cold outside is and it's always raining and I ain't dealing with that. But yeah, new gym. I went there, worked out, and pretty much a majority of the time I hung out at the pool because of the freaking heat wave. And let me tell you about July. July was a heat wave that I ever saw one. It was 130 degrees. I'm like, woo, California, you're too much. Oh man, I missed the heat wave. But yeah, 4th of July party, that was a moment, when I was at the pool and stuff. But I didn't really go to the pool because, well, I went to the pool in the gym earlier. So why do I need to go to the pool? Me and Stefan, we also tried the Spices Chipotle. Man, and let me tell you, freaking July was the day of spices. Or at least I wish it is because my taste buds were gone when I caught COVID. Yeah, as you can see here, I was in the hotel and yeah, I caught the Rona. I never thought I would happen. I think this was my second time because in 2020, I secretly had COVID, but I didn't tell anyone and I didn't want to believe it. I was coughing and sneezing and I was like scared. It was literally during like, April of that, of 2020. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no, please. Oh no, oh no. I was scared. It was a dark moment. That was a dark year. Oh my God. But yeah. July, yeah, COVID and pretty much moved into a hotel. I just, just hung around there. I wish I had discovered emulation when I, had my hotel, moved to a hotel because their internet is crap. And I have to live off whatever I can have, whether it's playing games on my phone or, going on Netflix. But it also was a moment where I where I started to get really interested on One Piece. And pretty much the majority of the time I was there, with the little internet it has, I end up going on Netflix and watching One Piece. Literally the majority of the time I was there. There was nothing to do. Like I was either there playing poker, like self-poker, like by myself, playing games on my PC on Steam, or playing on my Switch, which I did bring in, or just, watching One Piece. There was a bunch of things I could have done, but yeah, that's what I did. And all I did was stay home and try to get healed. And the moment I did got sick, I didn't realize it was COVID. But then when I got tested, I was like, "Yep, that explains it." Because I told my parents about my sinuses and stuff like that, and they were like, "Yeah, you got COVID," and I'm like, "Are you serious?" So yeah, July was the moment I was sick, and moving on, we moved to August. August, let me tell you, if you thought Fanime was popping, let me tell you about August, okay? Because August was a moment where I really had one of the best public events that I have ever been, okay? And as the pictures you see here was Freestyle Session Bay Area, okay? It was a dance event. For those that don't know, I'm a dance competitor, or at least in the past I was, I still dance, and pretty much I'm a street dancer or a break dancer as they call them. And yeah, I went to this event. If you go to my second channel, that's basically all I talk about is b-boying, which is breakdancing and the culture and the hip hop culture and the realness. That's what I talk about there. And yeah, I went to the Freestyle Session Bay Area. I competed. It's been like 3 years since I last competed. It feels like freaking centuries ago. But yeah, I competed. I made the biggest mistake. I didn't practice enough, and I was heavy. And let me tell you, my balance was off because I was so freaking nervous. I had stage fright that I didn't know. And I knew I had it because if there's one thing that is one of my weaknesses when it comes down to me, anyone is in a public area. But also, a lot of times, I can never compete because I know for a fact that my nervousness was going to get to me. And that happened when I freaking lost at the prelims at this dance event, at this dance competition. And I freaking lost. I lost in the cypher, which was a good thing because I didn't have to perform with all these people watching. But still, it sucked. I freaking lost, and I knew I was going to lose. I knew I was not going to make it in the dance world again. And I had to take the smoke, and let me tell you, this guy that bowed me, like, he got me. He smoked me, man. I was like, damn. And there was nothing I can do. I can't even get back to him because I don't like bringing that kind of energy. But yeah, I got smoked. This guy was making fun of me. I was like, damn, whatever, man. I'm out of here. I was just out of that, But at the same time, I had a good time because everyone else there that I have ever met in that event, in that venue, was like friends. Like, everybody was just cool. Everyone's good. Here's the thing about me. I have this energy whenever I'm all alone and stuff like that. I have that hunger. And you can tell right now, I have that hunger and pretty much that hunger is the reason why I'm so like out there with my videos, especially with my reads. I tend to joke like this and that. The way I joke is the main reason why, being alone sucks. Because a lot of times I find myself more of an extrovert than an introvert if I really do try it from the heart. And from the heart, I talk to almost everyone because I recognize all the dancers there. And man, let me tell you, it was like a family. One by one, there was like this whole bridge of like, people. I talked to every one of them because I know them. I'm like, yo, I know you. I know you. I know you. Like I was cool with everybody was like a brother to me, And I never thought I would be that, friendly at all with them. But it was such a good time. I took selfies. I shared them like my videos and I, talked about this and that. I had this, man, I talked to people that have been travelers that are top tier, like world-class breakdancers. And I spoke to them. It was like the best inspiring moment I ever had. My gosh, I wish I had those moments. But I can tell that can be very tiring for me, for sure. And I didn't care I lost in the prelims because I had a good time. Also, my boy Stefan was with me. And he really didn't know what was going on, but he was still around the moment and he enjoyed it the same way I did. And also we hung out. That's what it matters. But also what matters is the whole vibe of the event. The fact that I went to an underground hip hop event that my parents are usually scared of, but since I'm an adult, I can go there and have a good time. Okay, that's for sure. Especially, I was getting, what was this? I didn't get caught on One Piece during August. No, I didn't. It was also the moment where HBO, like this whole cartoon, like apocalypse was going on. A lot of cartoon shows was getting canceled and stuff. Also started apartment shopping, that's for sure. I think that's it. I don't know what else did in August. I'm not sure if I. The only thing I remember is literally this whole entire event, and I pretty much there was a good moment where I got exhausted of actually talking about it. But man, that was a good time. Over here, as you can see in the picture, I was hanging out with my group, home or peeps, because I was part of a church group, and pretty much I decided, you know what, I'm gonna make some friends. I really loved that moment at the dance event, and I was like, let me go here and just have some good times with some strangers that I never met that are safe because it's part of a Christian church, and I was gonna talk to them, and it worked. And pretty much it wasn't that really urgent because a lot of times I guarantee you that I wasn't gonna see these guys for the longest time when we had our last meeting in December. But it felt good to be in a house that I don't own, in a friend's house that I'm not friends with, and just hanging around. I spoke to all of them, and man, let me tell you, I never thought that I would be more into like really be socializing than I ever was. But it all takes from the heart. Also, it was the month when the Queen died. That was a big thing. I went to my dentist appointment. I don't know why I shared that, but yeah, that happened. Also, gaming wise, I don't know why I didn't share anything gaming in August, but gaming wise, I'm not sure what game I finished. That's also another thing. I don't know. I don't remember if I finished Witcher or that other game. That other game that is like this Greek god, like Genshin Impact style game. I forget what the name of it, but I got bored of it and I deleted it. But it was when I played Skate 4, the pre-alpha. Man, um, let me tell you, it felt good, like playing like a new skate game, and I was still excited for Skate 4. Okay. Also, like Stefan's birthday, I celebrated his birthday. I went to like a buffet. That was a good time. And also it's the moment where I discovered emulation. Yeah, that's when that took over my life in ways. To the point where I made certain times for certain games that I played that I need to finish. And I never thought I have this much games to finish when I discovered emulation. My gosh. And yeah. I visited a cousin that I haven't seen in 5 years. That was a dope experience because I just haven't seen him. I showed him my channel, and it was like, and he was like, "Yo, whoa, I see you doing things," and I was like, I am, I am." Yeah, just a bunch of those things, and also my introduction to a group home. Not group home. I call it a group home. I don't know why. It was a church group that I was part of, and I met them, and we had food. It will be every Monday. Next is October, aka Sadoween. Because let me tell you, Halloween and October, like this October was the saddest because literally no one showed up, and I was held with a bunch of candy, and I literally should not eat all that candy. But over time, I was like, nope, I'm not gonna eat you, and I take like a couple bites and some Reese's Pieces, and yeah, this I blame all the kids that didn't show up, all the people that didn't get my candy. Look, listen. I was waiting for anyone to to come in for trick or treat. I don't care if it's a bunch of adults, just freaking take my candy. I was ready to give like 6 candies, 7 candies, okay, 7 chocolates. No one showed up. It was the worst Halloween. I don't know what happened, but it was also like the whole RPG4 TV. I guess I shared that in a ways. I don't know. And I got my emulation got really bigger, pretty much. That's for sure. That's when I downloaded all the PlayStation emulators, and that's when I downloaded like Dreamcast and stuff like that. GameCube, and man, just a bunch of games. But also this is when what was it? Oh yeah, I had a sushi bar. I don't know what I did. Okay, I went to a sushi bar. It was expensive. That's all I remembered. And I was like, damn, I can't afford this. This is the worst kind of ways to actually, especially for my mom's birthday. I did it for my mom's birthday, but man, sushi is expensive. Inflation was really showing its colors. Okay, especially during this month. I don't know why. I don't know how much I paid for the candy, but that's just beyond the point. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about November because that's what's popping. I remember seeing Nintendo Direct in November. That's the first thing I put in this list. It was like the most worst Nintendo Direct because of all the freaking cozy games that I remember seeing. I had a whole tirade about it, and I got canceled. I was like, is this the 7th time I get canceled now? Jeez, internet. But also, It's when this is when like one of the Migos, the members of the Migos rap group that I grew up listening to, which gosh, I don't know if that really says my generation, but it's yeah, one of them passed away, and that was a big deal. Also, that's when I started to notice my grandma, what I was living with, starts to get worse, and pretty much that I'm gonna get to that a little bit later, but also a first time in Tesla when I was in Folsom again. It's also the whole election day that happened, and especially the moon mission. That was another thing. This one that this whole thing about like people sending to the moon was getting more, especially more traction and stuff. And I started to realize it. And I was like, "Yo, we're living in the freaking future." And Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was a party, as you can see here. This is my Asian side of my family. I have two sides. Okay, I have my white side and I have my Asian side. So do the math. I'm in the Asian quarter and I'm in my Italian quarter. Okay, I believe this is my Korean family, Korean slash Vietnamese family. It's a mixture. Okay, it's a mixture of Asians and Italians. Okay, it's just actually, you don't see much Italians here. I went to my Italian side for Thanksgiving. Went to my Asian side, as you see here. It was a good time. I just want to show you my family. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is what Vince's family looks like. Look at that. Anyways, it was my part of my family because let me tell you, I have families on families. I have a lot. I have a lot of families. Okay, I don't know why. Now we head into this very sad moment of December, and I didn't put a lot here. I didn't put a lot. I could have. I could have. Can I speak? I could have. But yeah, let me check here because most of my data could be around my videos, and that's what I like to see. I took a bunch of breaks December for making videos. I don't know why this month I've been taking a bunch of breaks. But yeah, I took a bunch of breaks and all that. But let me just see here real quick. No, that was a month ago. Yeah, I didn't make a lot of videos. I did not make a lot of videos. Now, one thing's for sure, in December, my channel was terminated. Yes, it was. That means that even though my channel is back, my channel is officially terminated 2 times. 2 times I've been terminated. I am a second terminated channel, which means that YouTube just really doesn't mind putting a target on my back. It really hurts, okay? Because I really am tired of losing my channel. It is really sickening. But also, I got my channel back thanks to Webtoon and thanks to the community that I was part of. My goodness, I couldn't thank them so much more, I don't know. But yeah, it was, I realized like, yeah, I can't lose the channel because I was ready, like, okay, Vince Ryder 3.0, I'm staying here. I want to stay here. I really want to be. I really just don't want to worry about any copyright strikes, and that goes without saying. But really worry in a sense where I know for a fact that I'll be protected because this whole copyright string needs to stop. Listen, a lot of times I get jealous when I see other creators doing their own thing, especially these mukbang channels. They don't have to put music; they can just show their face and what they're eating, and that's it. That's how they make videos. That's how they make it, and they make a lot of money off of it. And there's a part of me where I wish I could do it. I wish I could do gameplays because a lot of gamers don't really get copyright strike at all. It depends on what game or music they're really putting in their game or something like that, or making original music and stuff. Music channels. I was looking at different lengths. I was like, man, maybe I should really do something else other than doing reads. But it just sucks that I get copyright strike for something that is really not that harmless at all. And it's because of the material that I use in my videos. I don't know. I really started to think, and then I took a break off, off YouTube because I didn't know what to do. There was nothing I can do because my channel was gone. But then it came back, and I was like, thank God. But also, damn, like I know this is gonna keep happening, and it's gonna get sickening when it does. I really don't understand, like, especially, for this channel, I want people to be subscribed here and not worry about a thing. But me, as a creator, I have to worry. I have to worry. Being terminated hurts. Losing everything that you work for, that sucks. Nothing good around that. I really try to send some normalism surround. There was nothing. There was not. There was no. There was no like. Oh, it's okay. Nothing's okay when your channel is gone. Okay, nothing's okay with that. All right. I rather get punched in the face. I rather like like I don't know, like anything other than my channel being terminated, because let me tell you, there was a moment where not only my channel was terminated, which was like the first time back in 2020, but also my Instagram, my Twitter, my other social medias and everything, because I put webtoon content, and of course webtoon fixed that. But man, I just I was all over my head because I didn't know what to freaking do. I was lost. It was hard, especially for a small YouTuber like me. How do you go through that? Other than that, also, yeah, another sad thing happened. My grandma passed away, and for those that don't realize this, I want to let you know something. The house that I live in is owned by my grandma. I have to live in this house without her. You can understand how heartbreaking that is, because it's the moment where, like, I don't know. I just felt guilty because I didn't really spend a lot of time with her because I was too busy focusing on my channel, my college, and myself, and I was in my own world most of the time. And then the moment I think about it is the moment when I feel I feel like a douche. I just her health was declining pretty much. She was getting really old, and I was over here just doing nothing mostly. I would admit it. I will admit it. I don't know if I will admit it in the funeral, but I don't want to make it that heartbreaking because my family doesn't really want that at all. They can't afford that. And I understand it. But the way I felt, I don't know. It wasn't my fault. You know, when I was homeless, where am I supposed to live? I gotta live somewhere, and that was my grandma's house, and she's not here. And she did her best to take care of me, but I already talked about this. I didn't really make a video like my grandpa passed away, stuff like that. I didn't really put it in public, but as I'm sharing it now, it's sad. It's heartbreaking. That's basically the end of this year. That was it. Like, it was gonna happen eventually, but I don't know. I felt like I could have done so much for her, and I don't know. I feel so guilty. I felt really guilty of not being there for my grandmother, and she passed away like last week. So yeah, it was at the hospital. I saw her. My whole family cried, and it was a serious thing that happened in my family, and I don't know. It was truly just heartbreaking to watch. I still remember the moments, but I also remembered that I just stood still and I was shocked, and I was like, no, this can't be happening. Why, I don't know why it has to be December. I had to celebrate that lonely Christmas of, like, it was supposed to be with, chilling with my boy Stefan, because I did hung out with him, and it was us hanging out, and I was, pretty much we were playing games, and it was like such a fun moment because there was a lot of games we played in that small spare time. But actually, that whole news about my grandmother, her sick decline and stuff like that, really came in from my dad when I was hanging out with him with Stefan, and then out of nowhere, just yeah, it all synced in, and I got scared, and pretty much we got out the mall and just went back to the car, and me and Stefan had a moment, and it was like it was heartbreaking. But yeah, rest in peace to my grandmother. I'm not gonna say her name for family sakes, but it's losing a family member is hard, and yeah, I'll carry this house to safety. I don't know what's gonna happen to this house, but it hurts not only that my grandmother is gone, but also living in a house where she used to sleep, and I would always hear the TV, and right now you don't hear it because she's not here, and I don't know. It's a loss. But yeah, I guess I'm ending this video on a sad note. This is a picture of, in the hospital that she was in, and pretty much what it looks like in the building. But other than that, thank you guys watching. Listen, this wasn't a bad year. It wasn't bad. It was adventurous. It was astounding. It was sad at some points. It was aggravating at some points. It was crazy at some points. But at the same time, it was a lot of fun, a lot of memories, and a lot of moments to make me remember, even though those moments were sad and unfortunate. But I'm hoping next year will be, more stories, more greatness, more success, more moments, especially, with especially my last moments in being like, in my 20s. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm not getting any younger. I really do want to achieve something out there. You know what I mean? Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a roller coaster, that's for sure. I apologize. But other than that, don't never take life for granted. Live your life. One love, peace, and happy New Year's. Thank you.